All right, guys, Copper Cutlass here. I just came out here today. I've got the heater running. I'm about to warm up the garage to start doing the last little bit of work too. The Pontiac, to get it separated, so I still got it on jack stands on the frame, unlike the earlier video where I did have it on the pinch welds just for a test. I wanted to use 4x4s. The outdoor lumber yard was a mess at the local hardware store, so I picked up 2x4s. And there's a specific way I'm going to be screwing the tall ones together for safety reasons. I will show you guys what I'm going to end up doing there. And then I also picked up these clevis hooks, which might actually work. Now, something very specific when you do this stuff, buy heavy duty shit. You can see I got grade A nuts, grade 8 bolts. These are rated for, I believe, almost 4,000 pounds of working load. And I got just regular big flat washers to keep things tight, along with the correct grade 8 washers to use on each side of the hardware we're going to be using. The big washers are just to sandwich stuff, not important on that end. And then I bought this bucket, a 15-foot chain at Harbor Freight. The workload on these is, does it say on here? Shit. 2650. More than enough to lift the body up. The body does not weigh that much. So this will be good for like pulling engines and stuff, other stuff like that. But do be aware of your workload capacities, your cherry pickers, where you position your crane, everything. It is very important to work as safe as possible. I got my slings that I'm going to be using. Got a couple of them. I got like 3. I also brought some tools from work. I brought my extended 4-inch, which it's fucking worn down to nothing, cutoff wheel, which this thing kicks ass because I might have to cut the chain a little bit, which is fine. I bought this chain for that reason. I brought my air drill because I am going to have to drill into the cowl. And I brought my electric 14 4-volt snap-on drill, which is awesome. I brought my 1/2-inch snap-on impact in case my old trusty IR that I have here in the garage does not work. I got drill bits. Those are actually brand spanking new from Mac. I bought them like 2 months ago because I had a really good deal. Get to break them in on this one, and I'm curious to see if they have a 1/2-inch drill bit, so I'm going to be checking with you guys here. Let's see, how big do we go here? This goes up to, I think, 3/8, but I have a 1/2-inch at the shop. I actually have to run back anyway because I forgot my impact sockets. So I got some vice grips in case some of the body bolts are stubborn. These are modified actually for sway bar end links. You can tell I ground them down. These are actually awesome for them, but you can't get them that. You can get the, you can get these guys, but the problem is the bite is always going to be a little tapered. These are like the flat jaws. There is a difference in the jaw design and what you're going to be using it for. But I got that. I got light. I got my underhood light over there. And I think with the clevis, the idea is going to be, so let me get this in focus because I'm filming and talking and this is kind of a pain. So the concept here is going to be to drill a hole in this super thick part here, drop it down, which I think I got just enough room to get down there, and use the hooks, and it's going to allow the chain to articulate around so it doesn't pinch the firewall. Because I couldn't find the correct eyelets I wanted to use, but I did get 1/2-inch bolts. Now I'm going to go ahead and make, I think this is about 3/8. I'm going to try this approach first, and I want to keep everything tight. So this is going to be the first thing I'm going to try to lift the body up. So yeah, I'm sure this video I'm going to have to edit, but I'm doing everything off of my phone, so everything goes up into my Google Photos, and then I can edit everything as I go. I just got to keep my videos short so that my download times don't take forever. So yep, that's what I'm going to be using, guys. Just wanted to share with you the supplies and stuff. You don't have to have a lot of this shit. This is just stuff I brought from my toolbox at the shop. that I don't have here that'll make life easy. But you can use an electric 4-inch grinder, electric drill. I have a 30-gallon air compressor, so I get to use that. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys as soon as we're... Alright guys, video number 2. I made the first stack of 2x4s for the front. These are going to be used vertically. It's the strongest way a 2x4 can be used. Just from kind of, I think, what I know, and I think that's common knowledge, nothing special there. Now, what I did do is, I not only screwed it down, but I put some screws in on an angle going this way, and then I flipped it over and went the opposite angle, so if they did try to pull apart, they're only going to tighten up. I learned that from when I sistered the floor joists in my house because some of them were notched out. And I got this monstrosity over here. So this is going to total about 6 inches, or almost 8, I think. And I was wrong on that because 2, 4, and 2, that's almost 8. But the dimensions aren't exactly. It's like 1 3/4 by something, fucking whatever. So either way, I did 1 laying down, 1 vertical, 2 wide, and then another flat one. So this should be pretty sturdy to hold the body. Because again, keep in mind, I have to keep it level. So the front jack stands go as high as 20 inches. The rear goes, I can get it up to 24. So I'm splitting the difference in it. So with a 2x4 sideways, that's going to be like, the back is going to be like 27 3/4 or something like that. And then the front is going to be the difference of it. So it might be within an inch or so off, but I can adjust it at that point with my tape measure. And I still have to measure the stack because keep in mind my dimensions aren't exact. I went off of theory last time I made my measurements, but before I actually set myself up and get the car back on the ground, I'm going to take those measurements and I'll share that with you guys in a little bit. But that's what I got going on. Figured I'd show you guys what I did with that because the lumberyard, as I mentioned in the other video, was a fucking shit show. And I'm like, I'm just going to get 2x4s. But I did screw them all down real nice together. So you can see my workbench is a little messy, but all my tools are there. I don't leave them on the ground, except for that. That's a case. So guys, see you. All right, guys, I got everything set up. I want to show you guys something. This area seems pretty strong. I already lifted up the body a couple of inches, but you can tell that I did fold this up. I'll have to straighten it out, re-weld. Actually, not re-weld. No welds busted, but it did, as it pulled away, like I had said, it brought it in a little bit. But this is like triple layered here, so I'm pretty confident in that, but we're going to still take it slow. In the back, my striker idea worked. I already tested it. Nothing pulled apart. So we're going to lift it from the rear striker. As you can see, I already have my jack stands in place where I pretty much want them. And I got everything set up to lift it up to kind of make up for the difference, and we'll see how far we off. We may have to readjust, but hopefully my math is right. So we're going to lift up, I guess, and go from there. I'm going to be manning this because my wife is on camera duty. So she's my second set of eyes. And I don't hear like any creaks or anything. So that's always good. And that's the creaks you don't hear enough from the chicken. So it's now time to lift up the back because we've got this to a good distance. Again, I have to really thank my friend Mike for letting me borrow cherry picker. You didn't see that. He came through. He wasn't too thrilled about me picking it up with the Saturn. When I get to a certain point, I'm just going to go ahead and slide the 2x4s in there in case if anything happens. So these go in the back. Those fucking please get the fuck out of my way. Alright. So that way if anything happens, we're going to catch it. Just enough room. Keep in mind, these front ones are going to be taller because my jack stands, these are shorter than those. Alright, so from here we keep going up. I have done this once before when I did not have this hard of a time figuring the setup. Alright, we're pretty level there, so I'm going to go up in the front. I'm using the same fucking hole for both because the other one's kind of jaggedy. I should have welded it to two-piece. It's not very smart. I'll tell you what. This cherry picker is getting long in the tooth. I got room there? Oh yeah, I got room there. So there's our first stack of 2x4s underneath. And I have to be careful because this fucking cherry picker likes to just plop down. Again, it's old, you gotta be careful. And we got enough height there. So I'm gonna bring these in a little bit closer until I feel comfortable. So, I'm going to move these forward a little bit more because I feel like that's too far back for the weight balance and I need room to work. So, and yes guys, I'm not going to lie, I'm just a little nervous. This is what has been leveling this body the whole time. A fuel hose. Nice. Now it's fucking floppy. But cool. I think now we're going to drop it. I'm going to ask my wife here while we're filming to just keep an eye and shout if anything happens because we are literally recording this as we are doing it. There has been no practice here at all. Just besides carefully planning. We're crawling down. And on the way down, you have to be careful because the body, as you go down, is going to either come forward or backward depending on how you got it. And since you got two triangulated points, it's going to kind of want to do its own little thing. Oh. And you know what, guys? I just realized I laid my 2x4s in the wrong way. I mentioned in the other video about going vertically on these 2x4s. I was watching it as it was going down, and I could tell that it was putting pressure on the 2x4s. So I'm going to turn them around. But you gotta keep in mind, I gotta raise it up high enough to turn these. This side is lifting up higher than that side. So that always kind of scares me with these fucking jack stands. They got a swivel, which is actually really nice, but also not so nice. So, I gotta watch what I'm doing here. See, they're moving because the body is moving sideways as we're lowering it. So I have to kind of compensate for it I'm going to have to shift my jack stands as we're going down because it's pushing them off to the side as the body is literally moving towards the outside wall as I'm going down. So it's pulling the jack stands as the 2x4s are coming down, and I don't want that. So, but it's just the nature of the beast because I'm lifting from a center point. I'm not lifting from four corners. There we go. They didn't move. So, always give it a wiggle. Make sure you're comfortable with it. I think that's pretty good. Now we're going to lower the front. See how that goes. Fuck, did I tighten that one up good? So we're down. We're pretty level, looks like at least. So it looks like my math was right. And at this point, the idea of rolling the chassis out from underneath the car is a dream. But I have enough room there to weld on the frame. Now you can see the outside of what I was talking about. See, it's cracked here. It had been stretched. This car literally V'd. I talked to my dad the other night and he's like, I thought this project was over. But my uncle and my dad straightened the frame out the best they could with a rosebud. And they hammered it. But now it's time for me to box it. And I'm going to end up probably removing this, making my hole, locating it, and cutting a window and butt welding in a piece of fresh steel on the outside. We're going to make those repairs. So we're going to give this thing one last little shake test. Hopefully it doesn't fall. We're pretty good there. And I am going to leave the cherry picker in place as a fail-safe. Don't be dumb, guys. Just because the setup seemed fine does not mean that something cannot happen. So I did the same thing last time. I'm going to put just a little tension on the body. Just a little. We got that. Just a little in the front. I'm really upset about this, but it worked. It was strong. That just means that I'm going to have to straighten that out, which is no big deal. It's just a little pinch weld. We do have a couple of pinch welds to repair underneath the car. So there we go. We put a little tension there. And this is ideal if you don't have to roll the frame out. For us, I really don't need to. I got enough room there to work with, and we're pretty good. We're pretty level. We're not too far off. I think the back can come down a little bit, but we're good. We're good there. It looks like it's very happy. And this is going to be our work area. So from here, I make some templates. I order up some steel, and we get welding. Hopefully my buddy comes through next week, because I no longer have a welder. It was his welder, and he bought a house, and he finally had room, and he took it. In his new job, he needs it. So, yeah, he's going to probably swing by and help me out, and we're going to box this frame up and make a couple of repairs. The pinch weld I had mentioned here is a little rolled up, but that'll fold right out with a pair of channel locks. And so yeah, that's our frame repair. As you guys can see, this is fairly clean. My dad did have this car off the frame before, so everything you see under here is painted. Camera lady, come on, babe. You can see everything is pretty clean under here. I know putting this body back on might be a little bit of a two-man job, but yet again, I don't know, because I did put the body on by myself on the Cutlass, which I actually don't know how I pulled that off. But to be honest with you, that I put the body back on the Cutlass by myself, but that was a lot easier than this. So, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Hopefully this helps somebody at home with their own little frame repairs. Obviously, if you need to roll the frame out, this isn't enough room. You're going to have to go taller. But I decided that this is what we need. This is going to fit our situation, and we're going to roll with it. Make our repairs, drop the body back down, and start putting stuff back on this car. So from here, guys, we're going to get grinding, doing stuff. Hit the subscribe button. Share with your buddies. This could have been a nightmare. Could have not. I don't know. You tell me. So thanks.